And let's come onto the mat. And I am sitting, let me adjust my camera for a minute. We're going to be standing. So first of all, sitting down and taking a ball, a magic circle, something, and just having it in front of you. So actually, Arlene, if you notice, I'm sitting on my heels, unless that's a problem. So the spine is tall. So we're just doing a little warm up before we start our Pilates practice. So in this position, the elbows are slightly rounded. And the spinal column is as close to straight. So I just caught myself leaning back, right up, and a nice sense of lifting in the spine and a support from the front body. And then lift the arms up over the head and feel a lift, a lot of space. The shoulders are soft. And then bring the hands all the way down to the thighs. And again, lift up and start to feel how there's length in the side ribs and down. I'm changing so we can see a frontal view. So the very elegant upper body, lifting up. And notice that today, in contrast to sometimes encouraging this, the shoulders stay down and back. And again, lifting. So a sense of creating a picture frame around the face. And back. And again, lifting. And back. Now this next time we're going to lift up. The elbows are rounded to the side. So it's like the hug a tree shape we do in Pilates. And start to feel more length in the spine. And then over to one side. So we open up the side ribs. And back. Open up the other side ribs. And back. First side, bending one rib cage, but mostly focusing on the openness in the other. And back. And other side. So this is equivalent of what we do when we do mermaid. One more time per side. And back. Other side, opening up the ribs. And back. And now just for a minute, lengthening the arms up further. Can you lengthen them up without the shoulders rising? Just start to warm the arms up. Bring the arms back down. In this position, reconnect as best as possible to the shoulders on the side of the body. And again, lift the arms up. In this position, rotate to one side and back. Rotate to the other side, keeping these nice open elbows and back. So it's like the head and face are constant and the rotation comes in the trunk. And back. Other side, rotate. And back. So feel almost like a string where the ball is and you're spiraling around it. The ball is not being asked to move. And back one last time, over and back. Bring the arms down. Bring the ball, I'm turning so you can see it's not behind the body. So this can be tricky. I'm touching my sacrum because there is a tendency for the shoulders to fall forward. And can we, as best as possible, get that broad collarbone anyway? And maybe a little lower, Arlene, with your hand, the ball. So it's really almost skimming the floor, just about touching the toes. See if you can get a sense of the head still on top of the shoulders. And now move it back. So the ball moves away and back towards your bottom. And again, away. And start as you do this. We're not trying to get the arms to go as far away as possible. We're trying to feel all the connections in the chest and the shoulder blades and the upper back and the side of the ribs being asked to kind of start moving a little bit. And back. Again, out. And back. And out. And back. and out, keeping those collarbones and shoulders broad. And now one more time, notice that when we go out, let's pause here and slowly start to extend the elbows more. So there's more openness in the front of the chest without the chest collapsing. Nice and long and broad and open with a lovely long neck, and bring the hands back. Very nice. Now from here, let's start the beginning of articulating our spine. So sitting with the feet hip width apart. Now this is too much the width of the magic circle because I want a soft hold. I'm getting my curl ball and placing it between the knees. Now the reason for that is what we're aspiring for is the knees and the hips to make a straight line as much as possible. And so there's a gentle placement, yes, to keep, and then are the feet lined up with the knees? So each of us has funny patterns that we want to kind of get into. And start same way with the other ball in the hands and a nice lift through the spine. And now lean back just a little bit and start to allow the tail to roll. So now the hips are longer from the heels. And just pause here for a minute so you can feel that shift. And hopefully you're sitting into the abs, and then sit up straight. And again, are the abs kicking in? So there's some pelvic tuck, and you juggle the rib cage and the hips and the center of the abdomen to create that hammocky feeling that is really supporting the body. So now the abs should be kicking in. Now find the abs. Keep the broad collarbones and lift the arms. And bring them back. Lift the arms. Bring them back. Lift the arms. Bring them back. And lift the arms. Bring them back, and now roll all the way to the floor. So first time we're on the floor, I'm going to adjust more into the center. And from here, the back should be long and flat. And again, take the arms back and up. Bring the arms back and up. Bring the arms back and up. Arms back and up. One more time like this. Arms back and up. And now roll up to a sitting position. So rolling up, sitting up nice and tall, and again rolling down to the floor. Rolling down, attempting to get as much articulation and abdominal work as possible. Arms back and up. As you go back, can the spine stay long? And can you start to get more and more in touch with this wrapping around of the abdomen from the back to the navel? This last time, pause with the arms over the head. So the arms are back, the elbows are wide, so nice openness in the armpit. And now deepen into the abdomen and keeping the back on the mat, lift the knees. Lower the feet back down, keeping the back on the abdomen, the back on the floor. As best you can you make this movement come from the tension of the abdominals versus something else? There is some hip flexor work that will happen, but not too much if you're working really conscientiously and firing that front body. One more time. And back. Now we're going to add both at the same time. So as the knees come up, the arms come forward and we lift our head. Back down. Lift up. Back down. Lift up. Back down. We're warming up our trunk muscles up. And down. One more time. Up. And down. Now drop the ball. So the ball, or put it by your side because we're going to let go of it, and we're going to come into our hundreds. Hopefully the stomach is nicely warm. So set up your abdominal cavity now. You want the sacrum grounded, the back on the mat, and feel your abdomen. Can you actually feel a tonality here? Not a pulling in. We're not going navel to spine. We're looking for the corset that is truly this huge muscle that wraps around. And from here, take the arms over your head. So just for a minute, connect to this corset and curl everything up. So we'll start with the knees bend and we'll keep adding in. Here we go. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, extend the feet. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lower the legs a little bit down. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, lower a little more. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, lower a little more. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 3, 4, 5. Last one, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 3, 4, 5. Bend the knees. Stay in the ab. Float the feet down. And then the head down. Very, very good. Let's roll up to a seated position from here. And take this ball and roll it down towards our feet. So we have a nice hip width apart position. The legs are long, the feet are flexed. And now let's take this ball again. So today the limbs are a little soft. The focus is more into the trunk. And in this position, see if you can check your own adductors. Is there a little bit of tone of energetics of the legs kind of moving towards each other? So adjust the ball so you find that place that you can make it happen. And then lift the arms up. Again, the elbows are slightly lifted. The chest is lifted. And just for a moment, start going forward, but pull back with your abdomen. In this position, start to get in touch with the side ribs. And extend the arms further, but keep the stomach from the front, the low ribs, into the hips. You want a scooping feeling. And now start using the scooping feeling to roll down. And stretch the arms over the head. Stay there for a minute because I need to adjust. And now bring the arms up, lift the head. Find the abs that lift you up, extend you forward. And again, take your time rolling down. So now we're working in our own time. Each of us is taking what's needed so you consciously can roll down and roll up, really moving through your own spine, your own trunk, and as much as possible, consciously using these muscle groups as your top priority. And the more you do this, the body starts to warm up. It starts to kick in and connect all the parts. It's a beautiful feeling to feel this energy start to kick into the body and communicate. And one more time. And forward. And coming back. And stretching the arms out. Now from here, put the ball to one side. And we will now I'm going to shift over to my gold ball, but we're going to play with roll over, but we won't spread the feet because we have the feet anchored with something. So just get yourselves ready with something between your feet. So again, we're holding these legs hip width apart. Once you're set, check first of all that the heels are over the hips. It's really common to have the legs float forward, especially if you're flexible. But we want first of all this to be in touch with the full spine and really weighted down. Check to find the abdomen. In fact, put your belly there. There's a nice firmness there. And can you feel your back muscles spreading to accommodate this? The elbows are slightly bent and the pressure of the hands is down. Gentle squeeze and use your abs as best you can to float the feet over. If the toes touch, push your heels away for an extra stretch and then roll through the spine. So we're using the roll down to loosen up the tissue. And then take the legs out as far as you can without the back arching. So you're floating off the abs. Again, up with the hips. Over to the floor. Check that your neck is staying very long. In fact, you probably need to lengthen it against the desire to shorten it. Rolling down. So we're going to do this a few more times. Take your time. Use this to open up the tissue of the whole back body. It gets tight. It gets stiff. We're all going through winter, so there's more cold. And we want to keep asking the body to remember what it's like when it's loose and long and mobile and strong. And again. Especially check the neck. The neck tends to crunch, so you want to lengthen it. Lengthen the shoulders away. This is reminiscent of a shoulder stand or plow in yoga. It's a variation. Again, each of these poses can be used for different qualities. And in this case, we're really looking at the rolling motion. And then you finish with the feet in the air. And just for a minute, take the hands to the side, but turn the palms to face down. Gentle hugging of the ball, and just roll the feet so you're onto one hip, the other hip is off the ground. We're going into a very gentle tick-tock. Back to the center, waking up the low obliques. Other side, so the hip comes up, but you don't let the rib cage and shoulders leave the mat, or reluctantly, slightly. So we're not going far, we're just starting to get a spiral into the body. Other side. Very good. One more time like this. We're starting to work out all the creaks and crannies that exist in us. And last side. And back. Arms over the head. And this is the first time, unless you have back problems, lower the legs all the way to the floor. Just to get all of that nice pressure into the body, make it work a bit. From here, get rid of your ball. Your arms are still over the head. Get as much length in the spine as you can, and lengthen the sacrum, if you can, towards the floor. Get the legs nicely straightened. And from here, let's press into the heels, getting long hamstrings. And the right leg is going to get even longer, and you lengthen it up. Notice I'm still flexing my foot. So both feet are flexed and parallel. Today we're working into this line. Ground your sacrum. There's a nice, easy temptation to rock from side to side. See if you can get central and then get that as much extension as you can. And we'll do 5 circles in this position. Circling the leg around the hip. 2, 3, 4, 5, reverse it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lengthen both knees extensively and bend this foot in. Once it's bent in, gently or more, stretch it and keep your sacrum down. Keep your waist down. So you're asking the spine to stay long. Now, the knee is facing the chest. Now take the knee out to the side. So it's going more towards your armpit, just for variation of a stretch. Put the legs down. Reorganize yourself so the heels are flexing, the backs of the legs are long, and slowly lift the other leg up. Check your sacrum again. Is the low back nice and flat? Are you making a corner with your hip? And are the knees as straight as possible? Ideal is the backs of the knees is on the floor. And again, 5 circles. Circle 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Nice and long with the back of the leg. Bend the knee. Hold the shin. Bring the leg in the best way you can. Starting to stretch it inwards. Softening. Getting the leg as close to your chest as you're able to do. And then move the knee out towards the armpit. So there's an external rotation and stretch it again. Stretch both legs down on the mat. Flex your feet. And now pull both legs into your chest. In this position, grab your ankles and open the knees. So the heels or the feet are still touching, but the knees are apart. And start to deepen into the abdomen. We're going into rolling like a ball, but we're starting from the floor and now start rocking back and forth. So you will use the feet possibly at first to get some momentum. And once you have the momentum, try to keep the feet as close to the body as you possibly can and keep going with the roll back and forth. We're really massaging the spine now. We're getting all the kinks out. We're starting to loosen up the whole spinal column and lubricate the back and tonify the stomach. So keep going. We're going to do a few more like this. One more time. Come up to a seated position, balancing. Hold it, hold it, hold it, and put your feet down. Now just to get an extra stretch, we're going to go back again the way we just did, but this time we will pause with the weight as much as possible on the shoulders and neck. And because the knees are open, if you can get your knees to the floor, go for it. We're going to hold that position to allow the spine and the opening of the back to be even deeper. So just roll back, find your place, and then see if you can get your knees towards the floor and allow your back to open. Just take a moment and breathe into all the tight spots. Relax the head and allow all of that part of your body to start opening up and being less tight. Roll yourselves back up. Whew. For me, that was awesome. A lot of release. Next is our series of 5. So let's go back to holding our ball because we're going to work with it in our hands. So from here, let's have the feet together. The knees can be together if you feel good with that, and roll onto your back. So we're just setting up the position. And bring the knees into the chest. Open the elbows. Now, first movement, bring the hands towards the knees. Notice that the head is still down. And now take the legs to tabletop. From here, bring the ball even lower. Your front body should start kicking in. And all you're going to do is extend one leg at a time, bringing the other knee towards the ball. And there should be a lot of work starting to work in the low abs and also in the chest. Keep the elbows nice and wide as you do this. And now lift your head and chest and increase the work. So now maybe the ball fits above the shin. You're reaching forward with it and extending the legs. Keeping the back long, keeping the stomach scooped. And bring the knees in, drop your head down, and just rest the ball on your shins. If you have the flexibility, let the legs come close to the chest. And now we'll start again, arms over the head, elbows wide. So notice the elbows will want to drop. The more you lift your elbows, the triceps start to kick in, and we want that. Check that your neck is long and your upper back is long. Take the arms over the head, the way we've been doing. Bring the arms back up. Bring the legs to tabletop. Already the abs are kicking, and move that ball towards the knees. From here, keeping the back long and flat, extend the legs. Bend them back. 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 Your back should stay flat. Lift your head and chest. Keep going. And back. Extend. And back. Extend. And back. Last one like this. Extend. And back. Drop your head back. And again, take the arms over the head. In this position, start to notice where you brought your arms, where your side ribs are, because we're going to use this in our next variation of double leg stretches. So bring the arms up. Elbows are wide again. Curl your head and chest up and bring the legs to tabletop. And now arms and legs together. Arms and legs away and back. 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 Last one like this. Arms and legs away and back. And again, drop your head down, drop your chest down. Squeeze your thighs in towards you if it feels good. And again, arms above the chest, elbows wide. Float the arms back. Keep checking how much more openness is starting to come into the armpit area and side ribs. We hardly ever lift the arms over our head in daily life, and that area starts to get tight. So we are opening and lubricating it today. Lift up, legs to tabletop, arms low towards the knees. Lift the legs up to the ceiling. Keep that long, beautiful back. Legs should be right above the hips, and we'll do the scissors. So one leg floats down, and we double pulse. Switch the legs, 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 double pulse. Now flex your feet, lift your head, and keep going. Double pulse, double pulse, double pulse, double pulse, double pulse, double pulse. Bring the legs up, bend the knees, head to the mat, and again extend the arms way out. And for lower lift, this will be fun because we're going to bring the ball behind our heads for a minute. So we're already almost in a scoop. Get the elbows as wide as you can, and now lift the legs up. So the feet are over the hips. Lift up. So I can't go far. Elbows stay very wide. Lower the legs. Lift the legs. Lower the legs. Lift the legs. Lower the legs. Lift the legs. Lower the legs. I'm almost going back to the floor. Shame on me. One more time. And bend. And bring your head back to the mat. There should be a nice length now in this position because we've stretched some things out with your feet. Press towards your head to get that extra length that's starting to kick into the spine because of the work we've done. Again, the arms go over the head. Bring the arms back. And going into crisscross, lift the knees to tabletop, curl up. So move the ball to one side and, other way. Extend. And curl and reach the ball to the other side. And curl and reach to the first side. And curl and reach to the other side. And curl and reach to the first side. And to the other side. You should be feeling your obliques. And curl. And curl. Bring the feet down. Again, extend the arms over the head to open up. That area was used, so it may shorten. And wiggle your waist to get as much length in the waist as you can. And roll yourselves up to an upright position. So we're going to take the same oblique work and we're going to have a variation of it now. Take your ball between your knees so the knees will stay straight or whatever you want to use. Take the other ball and roll back again. So we're sitting in these abs and they should be warming up now. And just twist to one side. And then twist to the other side. And twist to your first side. And twist to the other side. And twist to the first side. And twist to the other side. Now, come back up. We're going to do this again. And now the side we twist to tends to shorten. So I want you to, if you can see with my knees, I'm actually moving from the hip. I'm moving the knees. In fact, let's just practice this for a minute. So we have a ball. You can lean back and just move one knee forward. And then the other knee forward. So the hip stays down, but literally the pelvis is doing this a little bit. Lengthen one knee forward. And the other knee forward. And one knee forward. And the other knee forward. And let the pelvis move now. One knee. And one knee. So we're allowing that little bit of mobility. Now from here. So we're back. And as we roll, take the knee of the side you're into and press it away. And now do the same with the other side. And press it away. And press it away. And press it away. And press it away. Very good. And let's come up to a seated position. Spine stretch forward. We'll just do the simple version first of all. We've had the classical version. The feet are flexed and the arms are straight in front of the body. Get a sense now of really lifting up in the spine. The stomach is lifting, the waist is lifting. That upper rib cage area is so complicated for us, so get the best you can. Take a breath in. And now start dropping your head, broadening the shoulder blades and rounding down, looking to get your head as close to the floor as you can. You're stretching out your back. Roll yourself back up and lift the spine up. Again, breathing out, start rounding forward, stretching out the back, really using your abs to support the back, rolling back up. It's called spine stretch forward. So we're looking to get a stretch in the back, an opening between each vertebra, it's sort of a rounding shape, and roll back up. Now from here, let's take our ball. So again, a slightly rounded shape. Flex the feet so you start very tall, and before we go forward, lift the arms up. So now we're using the lift of the arms to get the upper rib cage to start to be part of all of this. Check to see how much height can I get in my upper back, how much verticality in the neck. Then bring the arms in front with the elbows lifted and go forward again, reaching the arms away from you, but rounding and stretching the back. Roll back up. Lift the arms, and back, and again, rounding forward, extending, rolling back, lifting up, and down, and again, rounding forward and stretching, rolling back, lifting up. Last time, rounding forward, elbows wide, coming back, lifting up and down, and putting the ball to one side. Popping yourself to the front of the mat for open-legged rocker. So bring the hands in between knees, holding the ankles, and pop your feet in the air. So here is the time to really set up your balancing between your tailbone and your sit bones. And for my case, I'm a little bit into the tailbone, but it really works with my back like that. So find that balance point and double check. Can you let go? Are you floating in your abs? Excellent. Come down and let's practice the balance. One leg goes out. Bring it back. The other leg goes out. Are you nice and steady? And back. And now both legs. Find your balance. Nice long limbs, but most important, the stomach is strong, and we're going to roll back and up 5 times. So here we go. You roll and roll up. And roll and roll up. And roll and roll yourself up. And roll and roll up. Whoa. And roll and roll up. Balance for a minute. And then bend the feet and come down. We're going to do this a similar thing that we did in the ball. You will roll back and get our feet to the floor and just hold the position to allow that whole back chain of the body to start to open up. So balance. Extend the legs. See how much length you can find in the legs and limbs. Nice and long. And then find the stomach, roll back and bring the feet to the floor. And see if you can stay in touch with your trunk. Look at your pelvis. Is it even? Are the legs long? Is there a lift in the spine even though you're rounded? And then see if you can roll back and use your muscles to bring you up. Bring your feet together and bend the feet to the mat. Very, very nice. We will make sure you have your ball close to you for corkscrew because we're going to roll back on our backs. From here, lift your feet up and have them with a ball, and the hands for this first part, actually no. Let's take the hands over the head. So the arms are long. If they get to the floor, that's awesome. If not, put a pillow or something under, and we will circle around our sacrum. So feel where you go back and forth with your feet a minute so you really get in touch with where the sacrum is. It's really the bony part of the pelvis area. That's where it sits between the two big wings of the pelvis. So bring your feet forward a bit so you're in the top of the sacrum, and then circle around so you're putting pressure into that whole shape. Reverse the circles and up. Again, reverse your circles and up. Reverse the circle and up. One more time like this. Reverse the circle and up. And reverse your circles and up. Now, bend the knees and bring the ball between your knees. Get the arms back over your head. So now we're doing another variation of tick-tock. So the knees will be, let's say, over the waist. So my hips stop here, so over your waist. So a little bit of a acute angle. And now we will take both knees and feet halfway to the floor. So the hip comes up. And then use your waist and hips to bring you back. Go to the other side. So now we're starting to stretch and spiral the body. And back. Again, first side, the form of tick-tock, and back. Other side, opening up the body, and back. And first side, and back. And other side, and back. And now let's take the knees all the way to the floor. Down, down, down. If you can keep your shoulders on the floor, great. If you can't, you just do your best. And pause here. In fact, you can take the top knee and press it into the ball to get more traction into this stiff, spirally part of the body. Take a moment and then gather into your abs and come back. Square and lengthen the spine over to the other side. If you can go all the way to the floor, even if you come off, we're looking at a stretch now. We're looking to get all of these little clicky, funny, tight areas in us to be moving and hydrating and lubricating. Bring yourselves up. Oops, my ball fell. We will do this one more time. This time the arms will go to the side. Palms of the hands are down. And again, all the way to the floor. So once you're on the floor, the hand that's on the floor, the shoulder may have come up. As much as you can, stretch it towards the floor. See how much you can bring that shoulder blade down. So we are stretching into this line. Now deepen into the stomach to come back. And other side. All the way down. So we're really focusing on opening up the side body the best you can. You look to get the shoulder down. So very intense. It may be very intense. And bring yourself up. Bring your feet down. Let's have the knees bent. We go, actually no, let's have the legs straight because we've been working a lot to open things up. You'll have more length in the body now. And bend the elbows a bit, lift the arms up to the ceiling and roll up to a seated position. And stretch over, just give yourself a nice stretch. From here, open the legs up, we're going for saw, put the ball to one side for a minute, and we will start just opening up the side ribs even more. So nice high lifted ribs, the feet are flexed and rotate to one side. So take a moment to feel the rotation and now the elbow goes to the knee. So same elbow to same knee and the other elbow goes up. So we have a nice stretch and openness in the side ribs. Bring yourselves up. If you don't get to the knee, that's fine. Twist in the opposite direction and bring the elbow down, opposite elbow up. Open up your side ribs and come back up, center. Rotate to the first side, down you go. Opening the ribs up and bring yourselves up in center. Twist to the other side, down you go. Opening up the side ribs. Bring yourselves up. And center, one more time, first side going down, opening up the side ribs, coming back up, and last side twisting, down you go, and come back up. And bring the arms down and take your ball. So first of all, nice and tall, rotate and just reach the ball towards the foot. Reach over, check that the shoulders are square, come back in center. Twist to the other side, reach towards your foot. Come back in center. Now, first side, I'm rotating to my right. As I go over, I shift the ball into my left hand and I open this hand out. And center. Twist to the other side. Reverse that, reach forward and open the other hand out, just for fun. And center. Now we're going to do the reverse with our hand. So the ball will be in the other hand, twist and reach, and now the arm that rotates holds the ball. And back in center. And other way, twist, reach, and rotate. Bring it back and come to center and relax the arms, relax the chest. Very nice. And now let's roll down on our backs and roll onto our stomachs. So we're now getting into swan and swan dive. So first of all, just take your ball or whatever you're working with and put it out in front of you so the palms are flat on it. And drop your head down. The feet will be long and maybe hip width apart or together, whatever feels good for you. Really extend the arms out. Feel those side ribs. When your head goes down, this should provide a nice stretch in the ribs. First movement, just lift your head and lift your body, but keep pushing the ball away from you. Notice that it wants to come in. See if you can keep the arms long and lower back down. Again, lift your face, press the arms away, lifting up and lowering back down. And again, lift your face, lift your body, and lower back down. Now, when you go down, I want you to see if you can have your feet long, and can you lift them off the ground? They may fly up high, or they may be just off the ground, like mine are. You want to activate them. Release the feet and lift your chest. Let the ball come in now, so you're going higher. As you go back, lift your legs. Legs go down, lift your chest. As your chest goes down, lift your legs. As you lift your chest, feet go down. And as you reverse, lift the legs. One last time, lifting up and lowering down and extending. Very, very nice. You know what? Bring the ball in a little bit. It'll just give us a nice different texture to work with. So the elbows are now wide. And see if you can lift up. And so there's a little bit of this nice pressure. It's a different angle. I'm a firm believer in changing angles up so the body's stimulated. And get as much lift in the chest. Now, sacrum. Sacrum and tail and hip bones and pubic bone. Ground. You need to make that connection so that there's a certain firmness in the pelvis that you're stabilizing. You extend the trunk off of it. Keep that, and slowly first time, bend the right foot towards your bottom and allow the quad to stretch, but keep the length. Kick to the best of your ability. Extend the leg out. Lengthen the front trunk and the front stomach even more. Bend the other foot towards your bottom. Navigate the tissue. Kick, and back. A little faster. Kick, and down. 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 Now slowly extend the ball out. Let it roll. Feel like you're stretching your whole side body out. And then roll it up again. Nice lift. You're a little bit warmer, a little bit longer, a little bit more lifted. Same thing, but flexed feet. Kick, and down. 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 Again, lengthen everything out. Stretch your side body, forehead to the mat. From here, bring yourselves up again. And now we will double speed it. So as one foot goes down, the other foot comes up. And we're going to go point flex. So here we go. Point flex, 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 and roll everything back out. Last one, you roll up again, and now we reverse it. We do flex point. So here we go. Heel toe, 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 heel toe. Half of this work is also just teaching our minds to be swift and able to do new things. From here, take the ball and place it behind your back in the waist area and hold onto your ball. From here, very interesting stretch. Let the elbows drop down. This is for our double leg kicks. Ground the sacrum and bend your knees. Kick 3 times. Kick and kick and kick and lift. Other side. Kick, 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 and lift. First side. Kick, 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 lift. Other side. Kick, 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 and lift. First side again. Kick, 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 and lift. And last one. Kick, 2, 3, and long. Very nice. From here, just sit back into your heels and stretch your back out. Let yourself take your time, loosening up anything that may have become congested in the last part, and allowing the back and the spine to stretch and open and hydrate. From here, come up to an upright position and bring the ball so it's kind of opposite the middle of your stomach. We're going to use this for our, I think, push-ups, but we're going to just work into our planks first. So we're on our hands and knees. The toes are pulled under. So this is the interesting thing. Try and find where the long extended back is. So the front is supporting the back, and take one leg back without anything changing. And then step back with the other one. So just feel the stability and connection of the stomach to the back, and bend and bend. Now your shoulder blades are wide, but you don't want to be rounded. Can you get a sense of that long flat back even though the front arms are connected? Step, step, and bend. And bend. Now we're going to add a push-up. So we have this ball here. If we can lower to the chest, that's fine. When you go down, do not keep the elbows together. This is a change, maybe a 45-degree angle. This is more of a natural angle. If you don't get to the ball, I'm fine, but keep your back long and flat. So start with your stable point. Extend one leg and extend the other. Really find your push-up position. And then bend the arms, so you lower and push. 2 more times like this. Lower and push. 1 more time. Lower, touch if you can, push, and bend, and bend. If you find you totally lost form, you bend, you lower your knees to the mat. So I'm going to do the same variation that way, just so that there's a reference point. Extend and extend. As I bend the elbows, I'm bending the knees. Lower and press. Lower and push. So the lift is fast. Lower and push, hold, and bend, and bend. And again, child's pose. Lengthening the body out. Letting the body relax and lengthen and soften and loosen. And rolling up to a seated position. From here, let's go into the side leg kick. So lying on the side, starting with clams. If you want to, you can have your arms straight or bent. I like to do the bent position, so it really opens up my side ribs a little more. And now, I'm going to take the smaller ball and put it between my knees, because if I have my knees, this hip too much, it's not good for me. We'll see if it stays there. But you can have your knees together, get a sense of a long spine, and now just lift your knee up, lower it down. Looks like there's no ball for me today. Lift the knee up and down. Lift the knee up and down. Now as you do it, put your hand on your own sacrum and see if you can feel that nothing moves there. Obviously, the muscles around it move. What we want to avoid is the rolling of the pelvis. So keep your hand there just to become really conscious. It's a form of a widening of the pelvis that we're really trying to get in touch with. And think of the whole femur bone moving away from the socket sideways. It does have room in that socket for it to move. And then, of course, all the other tissue starts to activate. And back one more time like this. And back. Now take both legs, extend them long. And we'll do the same lift, but now with this leg straight. So you're on this diagonal, lifting and lowering. And the feet are parallel, so we really get this IT band to start to kick in. And now it's shortening a bit. Now it's lengthening. It's designed to be almost like a spring, but it hardly ever gets challenged in our life that way. And yet it's a real lovely activator of many things. One more time. And back. I'm bringing my hand back in front of me now, and we'll do forward and back pendulums. The legs are long and parallel. Forward, forward. And back, back. Forward, forward. Back, back. Forward, forward. Back, back. Forward, forward. Back, back. Forward, forward. Back, back. Now, fun position. I'm actually going to bring my ball, but drop your knee to the floor if you can. So the leg is forward. And inside leg. Now flex your foot and lift it up. So we're activating your inner thigh. Lift it up. The adductors should be kicking in. Lift it up. And down. Lift it up. And down. Lift it up. And down. One more time, lift it up. And down. And just for fun, seeing we're in this position, drop the arm out so it's straight. Now the hand that's in front of you, roll it back. So you go into a twist and rotate your body. Just to take advantage. Bring yourself back. Bend both knees and come to the other side. So I'm switching over. Starting with clams, supporting. So today I'm going so the whole side body is flat. The knees are bent. Lift your knee. Lower it back. Lift the knee. Lower it back. Take your hand and put it on your own sacrum so you can feel if you're moving. We're aspiring to keep that as a stable point, and then all of the muscles around are what are moving to create motion in the bones. Lift, lower one more time like this. So good. And lower. Now extend both legs. The feet are flexed. I'm going to keep my hand here a little bit longer. Lift. Just to check that I'm really getting in touch with my own skeleton and making sure that it hasn't forgotten its job. And basically we're always refining our awareness about what can we control, how can we bring consciousness into an area. And one more time. From here, forward and back pendulum, so the leg is long, forward, forward, back, back. Forward, forward, back, back. Forward, forward, back, back. Forward, forward, back, back. And forward, forward, and back, back. Very good. Bend the top leg up in front. Straighten the bottom knee and lift your leg. And down. Lift the leg. And down. Lift the leg. We're making that adductor work. Lift the leg. Is it firing? This side tends to be lazy, but it's working now. That's good. You've got a job. 2 more times. Lift. And now drop your head. Take this hand and roll backwards. Give yourself that twist. So good for us to twist and rotate. Stretch out all this tissue. Especially as we get older, the body gets drier and more air quality comes in. It gets more brittle, more dry, more stiff. And come forward, bend your knees and roll onto your back. And now we have our teasers. So let's take the ball between our knees again. So the legs are hip width apart. And first we're just going to have the hands. The knees are going to stay totally bent. And just, wow, is that a nice challenge? And roll back down. Try and get the arms parallel to the thighs the whole time. So you're tracking the arms in alignment with the thighs. And roll down. Now let's take the arms over the head. And just extend one foot. So the knees are connected via the ball or whatever you're using. Arms back parallel to the leg. And roll up the best you can. And if you had a little swing off the line, you'll know there's room for improvement. And again, roll and roll back. One more time. Roll, whoa, and roll back. Bring your foot down and take your arms over your head. Extend the other leg. And again, arms come forward on a diagonal. Roll, roll back, roll, roll back. My parallel arms, room for improvement. And back, very good. Now, the ball is in between the ankles, and we start with the legs to the ceiling. We're going up with both arms. Take the legs out, both of them. Roll up, roll down, roll up, roll down, roll up, roll down. Bend your knees in. Take the ball out. Actually, hold on to the ball. Roll up to an upright position. And let's see what fun thing we can do. I'm trying to improvise here. I'm going to grab this way. Just so I still have room. Okay, this is how we're going to play around with this. So balance it. And clap, clap, clap. And roll back. Clap, clap, clap. No clapping on this side. Roll up, but it's a fun new shape. Clap, clap, clap. Roll back. Clap, clap, clap. Roll up. One more time. Clap, clap, clap. Roll back. And clap, clap, clap. And roll up and bring your feet down. I just pause for a minute and set. Because that was a fun New Year's creative workout. And thank you all. It was enjoyable. Linda, I hope you enjoy it in your own time.